Hi friends! Welcome back to the Goose and Ghost Knitting Podcast. My name is Ashley and I am the maker and designer behind Goose and Ghost Knits. You can find me on Instagram as Goose and Ghost Knits and on Ravelry as Goose and Ghost. I'd love to connect with you on either of those platforms and make some new friends, or on this platform as well, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for lots more fun knitting, crochet, sewing activities, because that's what I do here. This is my podcast where I talk about all the things that I've been making in the last 2 weeks. Most of the time it's knitting, occasionally crochet, more often than crochet we've got some sewing. Neither of those two today. Today's just knitting, but I do have a decent amount to show you. So let's get going, I guess. We'll start with what I'm wearing, because why am I like out of breath? Okay, we'll start with what I'm wearing because this is kind of an exciting sweater that I rarely wear. It's not really my favorite sweater to wear, but this was the first garment that I ever knit. So this is the Millville sweater by Amy Christoffers. I think I knit it like probably 4 or 5 months after I started knitting, and you can see it just has like, the yarn for it is getting blown out by the sunshine, but it's Hobby Summer Cloud, which has been discontinued, but it's like a blown tube with cotton and acrylic, and it's kind of fuzzy, but it's all of the fuzzies have pilled up really gross and really bad, and it doesn't fit so great anymore. So if I stand up here, you can see how much longer my t-shirt, my Kraken t-shirt underneath is than the sweater. But it's bottom up. It's got a split hem, bottom up, drop shoulder, and I love the v-neck. I think I need to make another v-neck sweater. Yeah, I really was excited about this yarn when I bought it, and now that I know things about yarn, I mean, it's soft, but it's not my color. It's not a color that I typically reach for, but I am very excited that I made it. And even though it's now just, you know, like a little bit too small for me, you can see the sleeves. It's not really like the drop shoulder isn't much of a drop shoulder. There's some significant laddering. You can see right here, significant laddering on the sleeve, because that was the first time that I had knit something in small circumference before, and I tried doing it on DPNs because that was the only small circumference method that I knew of. But I'm gonna keep it and love it forever because it was the first one I ever did. And the reason that I'm wearing it today is because in the last 2 weeks we hit my knit-iversary. So I'm, in the grand scheme of things, I'm a new knitter. I've only been knitting since 2020. I picked it up as a pandemic hobby and I jumped all the way in. All the way in. I don't think I really saw myself like being as fully dedicated to it as I am now when I started, because I just needed something to do with all of my new sudden free time, and I needed to not think about, you know, the general scariness of the world. But I jumped in, got fully obsessed, and here we are now, 3 years later, and I'm, you know, designing patterns and releasing them for other people to knit, and other people are knitting my patterns, which is still weird every time I see it happen. But it's really fun. I love it. And that's why we're here, right? Because we love it. So, this is the Millville. I don't know its size inclusivity. I'm not sure on it. I but I know Amy Christoffers usually does a pretty decent job with her size range. But would I knit this again as my first ever garment? No, probably not, because of the drop shoulder. I probably would have picked a raglan, but I picked it because it was free, and I was rolling on a, I mean, I still am rolling on a budget, but I'm more willing to buy patterns now than I was then. But I wish I would have done something like Rye by Tin Can Knits as my first sweater. I think I would have gotten, it would have been similar, but I love it. I'm proud of myself, okay? I'm really proud of myself for things that I've done. So let's move from my first ever garment that I knit to a design. We'll move into whips now. So I've been sharing this shawl now for the last little bit, and guys, we are in the home stretch. Like, we are really in the home stretch. Enough so where I am excited to share a name with you today. This is the Alki shawl. So we've got alternating sections of getting increasingly larger garter and eyelets. And right now I am on the last garter section. And it's just a big asymmetric triangle shawl. And it's got I-cord on both sides. And this is my yarn here. This is, oh, look at how beautiful that looks in the sunlight. This is Kelborn Woolen Scout in the color Strawberry Heather. And I'm on the very last garter section right now. And then I'm going to have an I-cord bind off. And it's going to be picked back up again. Well, maybe not that. An I-cord will be picked back up and some fun little mohair moment will happen. This is Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Claret. If you've watched my videos before, you may recognize this from my Magnolia Bloom. I have a skein and a half left over from my Magnolia Bloom, so I thought it would be perfect, and the colors go so well together. I love that. That's so fun. So, by the next episode, we will have a finished Alki shawl, blocked, fun border, finished, ready for a testing call by the next episode. So I just wanted to share how much I got done in the last week. I wanted to do, I think I said I wanted to do 3 whole sections in the last podcast. So I did an eyelet, a garter, an eyelet, and now I'm on a garter right now. And I am on the 3rd ball of yarn, so this will be a 3 skein DK weight project and 1 skein of mohair. But yeah, should we talk about the name real quick? It's called the Alki shawl, which is it's a beach in Seattle. Very iconic. Like, almost any time ever that you see a photo of Seattle where it's the skyline and there's water in front of it, almost always that photo is taken from Alki Beach. And I believe Alki is the name of, like a white man who explored the region, as a lot of things around here are named after. But I thought it'd be fun to have a shawl named after the beach. It is in, yeah, there you go. So it's gonna be We'll wrap it up a little bit so you can see where it's going to go. It's a little bit harder to wrap up while it's still on the needles, but it looks good right now. And we just need a little bit of detail, a little bit of something something. So a little bit of something something will be coming this week, and then I get to finish writing the pattern, making sure it's all pretty, and next episode we'll have a testing call. I'm excited! So that's been one of my 2 main focuses for this week. The next thing I've really been focusing on, and I've gotten a lot done on this, for a very complicated knit, it's been like a good like focus project. So this is the Bindweed cardigan by Ksenia Nedion. I feel like I always mispronounce her name. It is a top-down raglan cardigan with cables on the front like button band and on the sleeves. And this is where I'm at right now. I'm actually able to like fold it over and it can look kind of like a garment right now. But forget looking like a garment. We want to focus on the pretty thing. The sleeve detail. Oh, how absolutely stunning. Trying to keep it out of the sunlight. How beautiful. So that's gonna be what the entire sleeve looks like, and then we are opening it up right here. We've got this cable will go down the entire front, and we're starting to do some increases right here for like the front of the cardigan, and the back is just all stockinette. I got a decent amount done in the last 2 weeks. The green, I almost bit it to try to hold it up, but that's not going to work so well when my lipstick will get all over it, and this is a very pale cardigan and my lipstick is dark red, so that's smart of me. So from the green marker up here all the way down to here is what I did in the last 2 weeks, and I feel like that's a lot for how busy I was this week, and especially since like it's more than what I did the previous, like lengthwise, the previous update from when I had started it, and it's getting increasingly larger. I have one more marker down here. On this project, I have to do a marker every day because it kind of feels like I'm making no progress at all because it's like so much. But this is what I was able to do in one afternoon. It's like 8 rows or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 rows. And then I'll show off the marker because it's really fun. It is a Pluto, and like Mickey and Friends Pluto in his Halloween costume. He's a pirate. How cute. So I am loving working on this. And I said, like, I talked in the last 2 episodes about how I needed to take a break from cables because they're really starting to irritate my hands, and how I like impulsively kind of cast this on, because I'm going to be wearing it for our engagement pictures that we hadn't scheduled when I started it, but I kind of figured like they're probably coming up soon. I should probably get going on this. And last weekend we scheduled them. So I know now when I need to finish this by. It needs to be blocked and ready by the last week of April. Last weekend of April. My phone is like buzzing like crazy. And it's because there's a Kraken game going on right now, and there's a lot of scoring happening right now. So I have until the last weekend of April to finish this, which I'm feeling pretty confident about. I just need to like keep making good progress on it, and like the body will go quick once I separate for the sleeves, and the sleeves will take some time because they're fully cabled all the way throughout. But I think I'm gonna do one sleeve completely and then work on the body a little bit, and then maybe take a break from the body and then work on the other sleeve completely. We'll see. I don't really fully have a plan for it, but I think I need to break it up a little bit. So, and the yarn that I picked for this is Drops. It is a mohair and fingering weight combined, so mine is a little bit marled. The fingering weight I picked is Drops Flora in the color 01, just natural and dyed, and the mohair is Kid Silk in the color 20. And I'm still on my first 2 skeins. I feel like that's decent progress for only having for how much that I've done, still being on the first 2. I am very close to the moving on to the second skein of each, but we will get there. So I actually have another whip that I worked on. Not a whole lot, but I did a decent amount of progress on it. Another wedding related knit. This is the Poet Shawl by Sari Nordland. Pull it out taut so you can see like really what it looks like. So right now the sun is kind of like destroying everything for me right now. No, it's okay. So right now I am working on just a seed stitch section. What is it? Seed stitch. It's a seed stitch. Seed stitch section. And I did from the heart stitch marker up to here since the last episode. I don't work on this every day, every week. I'm giving myself lots and lots of time to work on this. My goal for it, well obviously it's my wedding shawl. I'm going to be wearing it to my wedding. So it needs to be done by next January. So I'm kind of spreading it out, fully really only working on it when we're doing wedding related things. So we had a meeting with our photographer this week. I was starting to pick out some bridesmaids dresses. We had my fiance and I had a big planning session, which you can see like all of our sticky notes for things to do behind us here now. So I had a good amount of time to sit there and work on it. So I have a lot more of a seed stitch section, a lot more repeats of the seed stitch section left. And you can see my markers up at the top for indicating each repeat. I think I need something like 22 repeats before the first lace section. But I am knitting this in a weight heavier than recommended in the pattern. It's a fingering weight shawl. I am knitting it in DK. I'm using Knit Picks Capra, which is a cashmere and merino yarn, just because I wanted something like a little bit soft and luxurious and a little that I'll reach for Knit Picks more often than anything else because it's quality yarn for a good price. And I was really going to I think I've talked about this before on here, I was going to get a really nice, luxurious, expensive yarn to like really treat myself with this one. And when it came time to buy the yarn for it, I couldn't do it. I ended up buying a nicer, affordable yarn. But that's my MO. I like affordable yarns. I think all of the yarns that I'm showing on the podcast this week, this one is the most expensive, and it's $15, $16. I think this one's like $12, $9 something a ball. Like everything that I have right now is affordable. It's really affordable because that's where I'm at in life. I can't, it's not my personality to buy regularly like Farmer's Daughter fibers all the time. As much as I love it and it's beautiful, I can't do $30 skeins of yarn every single time I make something, because most of the time I need more than one. And a sweater made by a hand dyer is going to be like $300–400 for me. I can't do it. But if I do a sweater out of affordable yarn like these two, the sweater's gonna be less than $50 for me for a mohair and fingering weight yarn. And for me, that's Kraken scored again. I really shouldn't have been filming this while a game's going on, but I decided to film while I had time and it was quiet. So it just makes more sense to me for me and to me to buy more affordable yarn. If my financial situation changes, will I start buying more nicer yarns, more expensive yarns? Sure. I have a laundry list of yarns that I always want to buy that are more expensive. But as it sits right now, I'm really loving my more affordable yarns. They make me happy. So that's what I got. I got one more project I've been working on, but I can't show it to you, so I'm just gonna show you. Inside of my project bag, I have a design that I'm currently working on. I have collaborated in the past with Maggie of Yarnaceous Fibers, and I am going to be collaborating with her again for her quarterly sock club, and I will be doing the spring quarter. So I'm sorry, I have an itch, but I will link down below the listing to Maggie's website, to Yarnaceous' website for the sock club. So in it you will get a skein of yarn, a full skein of yarn, a mini and two minis, and one of my favorite colors that I have ever seen in the entire world. And the minis are perfectly complementary. I'll pop up the inspo picture right here that Maggie had designed for it. I believe do I still have the tag in here? I don't think I do. I believe she called the inspiration Dino Rosa, because if you don't know Yarnaceous, all of her yarn is inspired by dinosaurs and fossils and Jurassic Park. So this one's beautiful spring design. I'm not going to show the design. It'll be a surprise for when the club is officially released. So this pattern will be coming out May 15th. And if you purchase the sock club, you get a copy of the pattern for free. And if you don't want to purchase the sock club, I'll be having a new sock pattern coming out on May 15th. So something fun to look forward to. And this maker, this specific bag isn't available anymore, but I will have the Etsy shop for this maker linked down below. Without stains on it. That was my own fault for dropping yogurt on my bag. But yeah, I hope you guys check it out. I'm really excited for the pattern that I have started designing. I think it's really cute. It's very springy, a little bit slacey, a little bit cable-y, kind of throwing all of my favorite things together. A little nature inspired. It would be great. So that's really all that I have to share yarn-wise today. I don't have any acquisitions. Like I said, I am balling on a budget right now, and I am going to try and work through this a little bit. Alright, should we talk about life for a minute? Because I have some kind of big life updates. Talked about in the last couple videos about how I'm not really happy with where I'm at with my job, and how I decided that I'm going to look for a new one. I've kind of changed. I haven't changed my mind. I'm still leaving my job. I've actually decided when I'm leaving my job. But now I have decided that I'm not going to be looking for a new job, that I'm going to be starting my own business. So I talked about back in November my interest in starting a live wedding painting business, and then the holidays got a hold of me, and I just kind of passively was like, yeah, I'm still doing this, but I wasn't making any steps towards it. So in the past couple weeks I sat down and was like, okay, what do I want to do? And I decided that I want to do this. I want to do live wedding painting and really pursue art. And so I kind of talked with my fiance, we talked about our finances, we talked about where we're at in life and where I'm at with work and where I'm at with starting something like this, and he said go for it. He said quit your job and go for it. I love having someone in my corner and fully supportive. So all of my time in the last week really has been dedicated towards getting things going and doing sample paintings. I don't have any like wedding paintings to show, but I'm really going to be focusing on two major things with this. Is the live wedding painting aspect of it, where I can also be doing wedding paintings in studio, and bouquet preservation. So I'll be taking photos and that clients can give me of their wedding bouquets, or just any flowers in general really, but I guess I'm going to be like more marketing this towards weddings. And I can turn around and turn that into a work of art, a painting. So I wanted to show you a couple of those bouquet paintings that I have right now, and I'll be offering them in both watercolor and acrylic. So I've got some watercolor papers to show you and some canvases. So we'll start with the canvases. No. Just taking the elements of a bouquet and what's important in it, and really translating that to what's on canvas. Or sometimes I can take a whole bouquet and translate it to what's on canvas. I really like, everything's up to like a consultation with the client always, so I can do it in a bunch of different ways. Like in this one too, I took my inspo photos from my wedding florals, my wedding bouquet, and I was able to turn it into a beautiful little watercolor. Yeah, it looks better in the sunlight. So this is the whole bouquet with the ribbons. And then I wanted to show you a couple of my practice pages too, because I think like some of these flowers turned out really pretty. So I've got some hydrangeas all the way down the side, and I tried to do some white hydrangeas too. Some daisies, and playing with different kinds of roses. The lighting is my friend. I really decided the best time of day to do this. And I believe my reference for this one was ranunculus. It's harder to see the white ones. It's harder to paint the white ones, but I'm really proud of those. And then the one that I was working on yesterday, which I'm not ready to show right now because I still need to do some finishing touches on it, was a tropical bouquet. So I have a bird of paradise and I think it's called a king's protea that I practiced before I put it on the paper. So don't be surprised if I start promoting that on here a little bit more, because this is now how I'm going to be making my living. And of course, like, I'll link my website, Instagram, and TikTok for this endeavor down below too. If this interests you, I would love to connect with you on there too. And if you have questions, like, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to do this. I can do the bouquet paintings from anywhere in the world, as long as there's a photo of the bouquet. Like, there's a whole mess of canvases right now. I'm gonna do one of these canvases of my mom's wedding bouquet from almost 30 years ago. If there's a photo of it, I can do it. If there's not, I can still do something. We'll just have to talk about it a little bit more, but I can absolutely still do something. So there's my big life update. Is I'm quitting my job to pursue art, and that feels like a really stupid decision when we're about to we're jumping into a recession, but it's gonna make me feel so much more fulfilled and happy than how miserable I feel at my job right now. So please love and support me for it. Thanks, I appreciate it. But other life things, like I mentioned earlier, we were doing a lot of wedding related things earlier this week. Met with our photographer. She was fantastic. I'm really excited to work with her, set up our engagement shoot. Really excited for that. Yeah, I've really just been focusing on starting up Ashley Grace Art, which is what I'm going to be titled as for my painting business. And then when I'm not working on that, I've just kind of been like, I need a breather. Will work a little bit. I'll work on knitting a little bit. So that's what's going on. In the next couple weeks, let's see, I'm getting my hair cut next week. I'm really excited for that. Gonna keep working on Ashley Grace Art stuff. Real excited for that. In about 3 weeks, here's a little teaser. In about 3 weeks, I will talk about this more in the next episode, but my birthday is coming up, so we will be having a pattern sale in about 3 weeks on all of my patterns for the whole week of, I think, April 10th to 15th, whatever that whole week is, Sunday to Sunday. And I'll talk about it more in the next episode because next episode will go out before that week. Here's a little teaser for it. So I think we have a short episode today because I think the last clip I did was only about 25 minutes and this one's only about 10. So that's great. It'd be great for me to edit. So let's talk about my goals real quick for the next 2 weeks. I like to set some goals for myself. Goal number 1, I want to finish the Alkai shawl and have a testing call. I'm ready for it. It's been a second since I've like been fully into releasing a pattern. I'm ready for it. It's time. Let's finish it and get it out. And the other goal I have is on a personal one. I want to decide on bridesmaids dress colors. I'm having such a hard time with this, and maybe you can give me some input. So, my fiance side is going to be wearing, no, I want this in dark, is going to be wearing navy. And my side is going to be wearing emerald green. So I have 2 options for it. Here's it with the navy. So we'll do it so you can actually see. Okay, they're all the same fabrics. Okay. These are my 2 options, and it kind of is showing up okay on camera. This one is darker than what it is showing up as, and this one is a lot more blue. Help me pick. Tell me what to do, because I'm having a really hard time deciding. I thought it would be easy. It is not being easy for me. So, give me some opinions. I'd love some. And I keep telling my friends this, give me opinions, and they're like, whatever you want. No! Help me! So, yeah, once I pick one of those colors, because half of the dresses that I like are available, or like a third of the dresses I like are available in one color, a third are available in the other color, and a third are available in both. And all of them are available in the navy. And I just don't know what I like. I think they all look good. And these swatches are from Azazi, if anybody else is out there. I've got dark navy, dark green, and pine. So, don't know. I need to make a decision so that we can start deciding what dresses everybody likes. But that's all I got. Let me know about what color you think I should pick. Let me know. Are you interested in testing the Alkai shawl? Let me know. Let me know what you're working on. I want to know. I always want to know. Like, tell me what you're working on. Help me discover a new pattern, or let me rave about an old favorite. I'm always like looking for new ones. So that's all I've got today. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and I hope you have a good start to your spring. Bye.